Hello everyone, welcome to Gallant IAS Academy. So in this video, we will be discussing the geography questions which was asked for the 2022 prelims question paper. In 2022 prelims, we had around 11 questions from geography and we had a mix of conceptual and factual type of questions, and the questions were moderate, not actually some questions were easy. So we can keep the entire geography under the section of moderate questions. Okay, it was not too tough, we can keep it moderate. So we'll discuss the questions one by one. Okay, first question. If a major solar storm or solar flare reaches the Earth, which of the following are the possible effects on the Earth? So the question is regarding solar flares and if its impact on Earth. So the statement goes like this: the GPS and navigation systems could fail, tsunamis could occur at equatorial regions, power grids could be damaged, intense auroras could occur over much of the Earth, forest fires could take place over much of the planet, orbits of the satellite could be disturbed, shortwave radio communication of the aircraft flying over polar region could be interrupted. And we have the options. So this question seems to be a long question, but if you read the statements one by one, we can easily get to the answer. Okay, so what are solar flares? First of all, the question was asked because I think around the month of February or March 2022, we have a news that sun was emitting strong solar flares which was going to cause damages to the satellites. So based on that topic or that particular news, this question is being asked. So if you have read the news, you can easily relate that the solar flares is going to cause damage to the satellites. Okay, what are solar flares? Due to some activities in the sun is emitting very strong EM radiations, electromagnetic radiations, which is going to have some impact over Earth also. That is basically solar radiation. So if you go through the statements, just read the second one. Tsunamis could occur at equatorial regions. We know the causes of tsunami. Tsunami can be caused due to an earthquake or a volcanic eruption under the sea or some landslides, meteor impact, etc. But we can't say that a solar flare is going to cause tsunami. So if you logically apply the concept there, you can easily eliminate option 2. If you have eliminated the option 2, you can get to the answer C, because A, B and D is having option 2 in it. So only C is the possible answer. 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7. So GPS and navigation satellite could fail. True. Tsunamis could not occur. So we eliminated 2. Power grids could be damaged. Yes. Intense auroras. Yes. Auroras are caused by this electric relation with the sun. Yes. Fifth, forest fires could have occurred much over the planet. Solar flares are EM radiations. It's not cannot cause much of forest fire. So that can be also eliminated. Orbits of the satellite could be disturbed. True. Shortwave radio communication will be also affected. So the answer comes this way: 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7. We can eliminate option 2 and option 5. Answer is C. Moving on, next question. Which of the following lakes of West Africa has become dry and turned into a desert? Okay, the news regarding this particular lake appeared, I think, around 2 years ago. The options are Lake Victoria, Lake Fagubin, Lake Oguta and Lake Volta. Here, if you're having some factual knowledge, you should be knowing that Lake Victoria is a very huge lake. Okay, it's like a very big lake. It's one of the biggest lake in Africa. So the chance of this biggest lake or large lake to become dry and to turn to desert is very less. So I think if you apply a little bit of logic, you can eliminate Lake Victoria. And if you know option D, Lake Volta is basically a man-made lake. Okay, so the man-made lake changing into a desert is also a less possible one. So you can eliminate A and D. So the answer must be either B or C. So here the answer is B, Lake Fagubin. Lake Fagubin was the lake in Africa which has become dry and turned into a desert. So the answer is option B. Moving on, the Gandikota Canyon of South India was created by which of the following rivers? This is a factual question. You should know the data to answer such a question. The options are Kaveri, Manjira, Pennar and Tungabhadra. This Gandikota Canyon was in news because it was turning into one of the important tourist spot because of the canyon that is created over there. Many tourist people are coming there, and there is one famous fort called as Gandikota Fort. This is also present over there. This is Gandikota Canyon. It is basically created by the river Pennar. So the answer is option C, Pennar. Next, it's a match the following type of question. We have peaks and mountains. Peaks, we have Namcha Baba, Nanda Devi, Nokrek. Mountains, we have Garhwal Himalaya, Kumaun Himalaya, and Sikkim Himalaya. 1 and 2, 2 only, 1 and 3, 3 only. So, if you look at the three peaks, Namcha Bawa, Nanda Devi, and Nokrek, you might have heard about the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve. Where is Nokrek Biosphere Reserve? It is in Meghalaya. So, the Nokrek peak must be in Meghalaya. So, we can eliminate option 3 over there. It can't be Sikkim. So, if you eliminate option 3, the answer must be either A or B. Namcha Bawa, you might have heard when you study about the Himalayas, we know that the greater Himalayas, they are running from the Nanga Parbat to Namcha Barwa. Namcha Barwa is on the eastern side. Okay, Namcha Barwa is the mountain peak from where the Brahmaputra is taking a U-shaped bend. So, it's on the eastern part. While the Garhwal Himalayas, it is on the Uttarakhand region. So, the first option is also wrongly marked. Nanda Devi and the Kumaun Himalayas, it's rightly matched. So, 1 and 3 is incorrect, only 2 is correct. So, answer is B, 2 only. Moving on. 47, it's according to B. Consider the following countries: Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Which of the following or which of the above have borders with Afghanistan? Expected question, isn't it? We all expected a question either from the Ukraine-Russia region or from the Afghanistan region regarding the map. Very simple. You must have gone through the neighboring countries of Afghanistan. If you look at the map, the neighboring countries include Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, China, and if you are considering POK, India also, and also Pakistan. Okay, so we know that Kyrgyzstan is not completely, it's not having any boundary with Afghanistan. So if you look at the options, you can eliminate 2. If you can eliminate 2, you will be reaching to the answer C, 3, 4, and 5. So on the given countries, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan are having borders with Afghanistan. So the answer is option C. Next question. The term Levant, often heard in news, roughly corresponds to which of the following regions? Levant. Regions along the eastern Mediterranean shores, regions along the North African shore stretching from Egypt to Morocco, region along Persian Gulf and Horn of Africa, the entire coastal regions of Mediterranean Sea. Levant. Okay, the key to this question, like if you have studied the local winds, you might have heard about a local wind that called as Levant. There is a local wind named as Levant. Levant or Levanta. This Levant is basically blowing through the regions of the Mediterranean Sea. So, if you remember that point, you could relate this Levant to the Mediterranean Sea. So, if you look at the options, you have 2 options, option A and option D, which are related to Mediterranean Sea. So, option A, it is region along the eastern Mediterranean shores. Option D, the entire coastal areas of Mediterranean Sea. So, if it is an entire coastal region of Mediterranean Sea, it's having much larger concept, much larger area that is being covered. So, you must have heard about that. So, the most probable answer, it could be A, the region along the eastern Mediterranean shores. Okay, I'm telling like when you are thinking for the examination hall. Okay, so here the answer is A. The term Levant, often heard in news, is roughly corresponds to the region along the eastern Mediterranean shores. Okay, along the eastern part, which is near to the West Asian region, there we call that region as the Levant. Next, 48. With reference to India, consider the following statements. Monazite is a source of rare earths. Monazite contains thorium. Monazite occurs naturally in the entire Indian coastal sands in India. In India, government bodies only can process or export monazite. Which of the statements given above are correct? 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 4, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We know that about the monazite sands. Okay, when we are trying to produce some nuclear energy, this monazite sands always comes in the news. So, monazite sands, it is containing thorium, which we can extract and use for production of nuclear energy. That we must be knowing. So, second statement is anywhere right. So, you can eliminate C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, or 1, 2, 3, and 4. That could be the answer. Look at the third statement. The monazite occurs naturally in the entire Indian coastal sands in India. In India, we are having a coastal line of around 7,500 kilometers. The statement says that the entire 7,500 kilometers we are having monazite deposits. No, we are not having monazite deposits on the entire Indian coast. We are having some monazite deposits on the Andhra coast, some regions of the northern Tamil Nadu coast, some regions of Kerala, etc. But we are not having monazite sand deposits on the entire Indian coast. So if you know that concept, you can eliminate option 3. If you eliminate option 3, the only remaining answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. So the answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. It's the source of rare earth minerals, right? It contains thorium, right? In India, government bodies only can process or export monazite. That is also right. So answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. Next, in the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in the first half of the month of June, second half of the month of June, first half of the month of July, second half of the month of July. The question is the longest day in northern hemisphere. So it is related to the solstices. You might have studied regarding the summer solstice, winter solstice, equinox, etc. So summer solstice is when the Tropic of Cancer or the sunlight is falling vertically over the Tropic of Cancer, or the northern hemisphere is lying closer to the sun than the southern hemisphere. On that particular time, we will be having the longest day in northern hemisphere. So when is the summer solstice? It generally comes on June 21. So June 21 means here among the option we can choose option B, that is the second half of the month of June. So in northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year occurs normally on the second half of the month of June. So actually the question is indirectly asking when is the summer solstice. So answer is B. Moving on, consider the following statements. High clouds primarily reflect solar radiation and cool the surface of the earth. Low clouds have a high absorption of infrared radiation emanating from the earth's surface and thus causing warming effect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. It's regarding clouds and their reflection, absorption of sunlight, etc. High clouds normally, okay, we can take an example, cirrus clouds. Normally high clouds, they are thin clouds. They are not thick, they are thin clouds. When they are thin clouds, they are more transparent. That means they usually allow the sunlight to pass through them. So the reflections among the high clouds are generally low in nature. That makes the first statement wrong. Low clouds, they are compared to thicker clouds. They actually reflect the solar radiation more. So here the second statement says that the low clouds have a high absorption infrared radiation. That makes that statement comparatively wrong. So statement 1 is wrong, statement 2 is wrong. It's actually given as an interchange manner. So the answer is D, neither 1 nor 2. Moving on, next question. Consider the following statements. Gujarat has the largest solar park in India. Kerala has a fully solar powered international airport. Goa has the largest floating solar photovoltaic project in India. So all these are from current affairs. We know that largest solar park is Badla, is not in Gujarat. Second statement, Kerala has a fully solar powered international airport. That is true, that was in news. The Cochin International Airport under CIAL, that is completely running on the solar power. That's true. Second statement is right, first statement is wrong. Third statement, Goa has the largest floating solar photovoltaic project. No, the largest floating solar photovoltaic project is in Telangana, not in Goa. So here, statement 1, statement 3 is wrong, statement 2 is right. So answer is B, 2 only. Okay, it's basically a factual type of question. If you have read the news, you can answer, and the guesswork won't be working over here. So the last question from geography, consider the following states: Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Tripura. How many of the above are generally known as tea producing states? So this question basically it was a new innovation from the UPSC this year. Okay, apart from the last year's trend, UPSC asked in the options they started to give only 1, only 2, only 3 or all 4. So to reduce the chance of elimination, this type of options are given from this year. So we'll see how many of the above are generally known as tea producing states. Only 1 state, only 2 states, only 3 states, all 4 states. So it's regarding tea production. We know that tea is generally a tropical plant. It requires a temperature between 20 degree and 28 degrees Celsius. It needs a rainfall that is around 150 centimeter. It usually grows on hill slopes because tea cannot grow well on waterlogged conditions. So if you just check which all region we can get this particular condition. Anyway, Himachal Pradesh is a sure shot. Kerala is a sure shot because in Kerala you might have heard about the Munnar, where we have large tea cultivation. The fourth one, Tripura, is a possibility because in Tripura we are having the remains of the Puvanchal Himalayas, and also there is a bit of tea production. So here, Andhra Pradesh is the only state which is not known as tea producing states. All the three, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh and Tripura, these three are tea producing states. So we can mark the answer C, only 3 states. So here the answer is 3, only 3 states. So these were the questions from geography for the 2022 prelims. I hope everyone performed well. Thank you very much.